Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 1987 release by Dapol from their Doctor Who series of action figures and playsets. And these action figures were released for the upcoming 25th anniversary of Doctor Who, which was in 1988. The original series aired in 1963, the first series. And this was the 25th anniversary, which was 1988. Now, Dapol was granted the license to produce figures for the 25th anniversary, and they did produce a whole range in 1987. They then produced a second range in 1989, and they was due to produce a third wave in 1991. However, they had a fire at their factory, and they lost a lot of the molds for the figures, so they didn't actually produce the third wave until 1996, almost a decade later from the original batch. But these were a whole series of 4-inch figures, and they included the current Doctor at the time, which was Sylvester McCoy, and characters and monsters from his reign as the Doctor, and also the previous incarnations and previous monsters that appeared in previous series. Okay, so this is the item we're looking at today, and the item we're looking at today is of the Ice Warrior, and it's as he appeared in the classic series from the 60s and the 70s. And this is the card it comes in, and it says Doctor Who, and at the top there you can see the TARDIS in the bubble, which was from the opening scenes of the Sylvester McCoy area. And it says Ice Warrior, and you can see an image of the Ice Warrior as he appeared. I think that's from the Troughton era, and there's the figure behind the bubble there, as you can see, and it's got the barcode and it's item number W013, and you've got the Dapol logo at the bottom. Okay, so that's the front of the card, so let's whiz it round and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I turn the card around, and this is what we got on the back. So again, you can see the TARDIS in the bubble from the opening scenes of the McCoy era, and it says Doctor Who from Dapol. It says other items available, collect them all. So you've got Ace W015, Doctor W1, Melanie W2, Dalek W8, the Tetrap W3, Cyberman Mark V W9, Davros W016, the TARDIS Police Box W5 available separately. And the 25th anniversary set contains a TARDIS 5-sided console, a Doctor in grey coat and Melanie in pink, and K9. You got CE contains small parts unsuitable for children under 36 months. Made in Winsford, England, and BBC 1987, licensed by BBC Enterprise Limited. Tetrap, BBC, Pip and Jane Baker, Dapol, Winsford, Cheshire. Okay, so that is the back of the card. So let's whiz the card back round and have a good look at the figure itself. Okay, so I zoomed right in on the figure itself, and there you can see the Ice Warrior just behind the bubble there. And there you can see the top of his head, and for some reason he's got red eyes and a red mouth. I don't quite know. If you look at the picture, why they've done that, if you look at the picture on the left-hand side, which is from a still from the Seeds of Death, which was a Troughton story. But you can see his eyes and mouth, his eyes are silver, so I don't quite know why they've made him red, and why he's got a grey section around his neck and shoulders. As I say, on the picture from the TV still, it's not on there. But anyway, minor details. Other than that, the detailing is pretty good. You can see he does have quite a good detailing of his body. And all the way down his legs are also detailed, and he does come complete with his accessory, which is that Ice Warrior gun, which is just tucked there to the side of him. Now, it says these figures were all about 4 inches, so let's have a measure. And so this one is 11 centimeters. No, that's a bit bigger than 4 inches, I think. Yeah, that's getting on for nearly 5 inches, but then it is an Ice Warrior, and they were a lot bigger than the characters from Doctor Who. I think Bernard Bresslaw played the first Ice Warrior, and he was 6'6". Okay, so 4 centimeters wide, and we're looking at about 1.5 centimeters wide. As I say, nice looking figure, even though it's not quite right as the detailing is from the television series. Now, articulation wise, now unfortunately I haven't got one of these out of the packet, but I do have my classic Fourth Doctor figure from Dapol, from the same series, and he is out of the packet. So, but the articulation is pretty much the same on all of these figures. So you've got the head, which moves slightly from side to side, not a great deal of movement, doesn't go all the way around. So you've got the shoulders, and you've got the elbows. You can see there's movement on the elbows there. There's no hand movements. The hands don't move, and the arms don't turn side to side. They're just literally up and down. You've also got the waist, which goes up and down, and the knee joints go up and down. So that is the articulation on all these figures, and they're all the same. They all carry the same articulation, regardless of which figure it is. Okay, so there we have it. So how well did these figures do? Well, yeah, they done okay. At the time when these figures were produced, there was a complete lack of merchandise for Doctor Who. I mean, in the previous release of merchandise was in the 70s, when Tom Baker was Doctor Who, and Palitoy released a range, and Dennis Fisher released a range of figures and toys and so on. But since then, there was nothing until... don't get me wrong, there was the annuals and the activity books and the colouring books and so on, but there was no actual figures or accessories or playsets or anything like that until Dapol picked up the license in 1987, and that was issued for so that there was merchandise for the 25th anniversary of Doctor Who. So yeah, I mean, they done okay, but they wasn't readily available in all shops. It was really only specialist shops and events and display that you could buy this merchandise from. Dapol originally were a model train manufacturer, and all their products have always been sold through specialist shops. So that's how they chose to sell the Doctor Who merchandise. So if you went to, you know, these exhibitions like at Blackpool, you would be able to buy these, or Longleat House, they used to have a Doctor Who exhibition there. You could buy them there, or you could even write to Dapol for their mail order catalogue, and then you could order the items through the mail and wait 28 days for them. You send off your check or postal order, and you wait 28 days for your figures to arrive. Or you could go up to the Dapol factory, and you could buy the items from their shop, which was right next to their factory. But that was really the only way. Remember, back in 1987, there's no internet access. People weren't readily available to buy this merchandise online. There wasn't really a great outlet online back in 87. It really didn't come on until the 90s, the late 90s. So it was a very different time. And so the merchandising, the marketing wasn't done anywhere near as well as it should have done. Had it been nowadays, of course, they would all be online and they'd be available to everybody, and you could order them and they'd be shipped very quickly and have them in a couple of days, just like all merchandise is these days. But say back in 1987, it was a very different time. So the items could have done a lot better. Now, we're getting on for nearly 40 years. It's actually... This is the 25th anniversary now, 62. So, yeah. So we're looking at 37 years ago. 37? Yeah, 37 years ago when these figures were released. So finding them now is not very easy. They do pop up from time to time on platforms, usually open. You don't often find them in the packets anymore. So, yeah, they are becoming harder and harder to find. However, we at Midas Touch have managed to find quite a few of these figures, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.